Hi, gang. This is Jay Brightlow with Orlando host and grand welcome of Great Orlando. And you guys know I like to do these quarterly updates for our owners. Sometimes they're good news, sometimes they're bad news. There's always suggestions in here, but there's some good news, there's some bad news. It's end of October, so about Halloween time here that we're making these recommendations in this presentation to you. So the the first slide here is the tourist development tax year over year. Now this is from Orange County. So really what we're looking at is what's happening with people traveling to the Orange County area, but Orange County, Polk County, Osceola County, they're pretty much going to be the same, but Orange County makes their stuff public. So what you're seeing here are really nice numbers from 2021. Now these are year over year. So post pandemic, 2021 is going to be high. And then you see that there was actually a positive change still in 2022, still growing. And then as soon as 2023 hit, right around spring break time, demand started to plummet year over year. So 2023 was just absolutely abysmal. 2024, we did see this Q1 bump in 2024. January, February, March were better months than they have been. Even May, which is a pretty down month in general, was up a little bit. The big red mark that we're seeing on this here is April. Our Passover friends did not stay. They just didn't come to Orlando this year for whatever reason. It wasn't just the short-term rentals, but it was the hotels as well. And this summer, July was really down. The numbers with the hotel room demand was 63% for ADR, so it mimics pretty much what we were seeing in the short-term rental. What they noticed was that occupancy was up a little bit and ADR is down. And that's the consistent theme that's going on right now. The inventory is down in large part because Airbnb is stripping listings, which is pushing views higher and increasing the occupancy numbers. But the ADR is coming down. My belief fully is that they just continue to build because they can. And they're doing this in Four Corners. Now, what happens is as a result of this building, there's just absolutely more spaces to put people into. So Airbnb can say what they want about, look, we're seeing views increase, we're seeing the number of occupancy go up, but that's just because they're stripping things down and they're clamping down on more of the bogus listings, double listings, triple listings. So if your home is coming online and there's ever an issue with it being pulled down, we're seeing this a lot. It's because they think that there's something fishy. A lot of times these communities that kind of look the same, apartment complexes, Bahama Bay, Caribe Cove, Regal Palms, we just have to go back and say, look, this is a different address, right? You guys just have the wrong one here. But overall, this was not a good number to see here. So let's go to the next one. Oh, this is the data from it. Metro Orlando's hotel occupancy for the week of October 12th was 70%, which is up 4%. ADR for the week is down 6%. So when you're talking basically flatline for occupancy, but down 6% in a month, it's a significant number. Lead time. So lead time is your booking window. So if you look and you say, hey, I'm looking 2 months out and there's no bookings, that's normal. It's normal to have no bookings outside of the normal booking window. So the lead time is extending. This is good news. This means that there's more people who are planners coming to Orlando now. Now, this is sort of a double-edged sword because you're going to see later on I've got data that actually says the opposite of this as well. So there must be a lot more planners coming than in the past, which is good news, but there's also a lot more people who are staying close to home. And we'll get to that slide in a minute. Hit me up if you have any questions on these, by the way, guys. The length of stay is dropping. This is bad news. So overall, people are just staying less. Now think about this. A lot of people are coming for cruises. They're going out to Cape Canaveral. They're coming for a short stay. You're going to see in just a moment that people are staying closer to home. They're staying within a gas tank away. So they're coming from Jacksonville. They're coming from Miami. They're coming from Tampa. We're getting a lot of these people. Sadly, this is the poor quality guest. But a vast majority of them are good guests. But if there's a bad guest, they're on the shorter term. So the length of stay is dropping. That's bad news. That means we're getting more 5-6 night stays instead of 7, 8, 9 night stays. All right, so this is what I was saying. Guests are increasingly discovering amazing stays closer to home. All right, so we all know this. Gas prices are higher. But a tank of gas costs a lot less than a family of 5 jumping on an airplane going somewhere. So we're just getting less people from outside of the Florida, southeast area. Actually, we're getting a lot of people from Atlanta right now too. So we're seeing that this number's doubled, right? It's important to note the international travel has rebounded to pre-pandemic levels. So it went to zero, it went really high, and now we're like right back to where it is. So again, this is increasing local travel. We're getting less people traveling from outside the states. We are getting international travelers back, which is nice. Those are your snowbirds. Florida had the second highest percentage of in-state travel at more than 60% of states. 60%, it's crazy. I know that if there's a problem, we kind of know the demographic. The ones that are in the states do tend to come from Florida. But also like the international traveler, like they just kind of stay and just, they don't take care of homes as well as they used to either. But this does create opportunities with Airbnb specifically, because Airbnb will protect your home. It will allow us to recover damages in homes, and our team is really great at putting homes back together. So consider lowering your minimum length of stay, especially in Q4. This will drive your home's occupancy higher. As the occupancy comes higher, then your ADR can come higher also. So this is kind of a good news, bad news situation. At the end, it just is what it is. So consider lowering your length of stay to attract more of these people. If you want to make sure you've got high quality guests with shorter stays, we just increase your percentage of the market. So we just don't go to the bottom of the barrel in terms of price. Maybe we decrease your length of stay to 2 nights, but we increase overall your ADR on those shorter stays, 10, 15, 20, maybe even 30%. So if you want to do some of that, reach out to me. Views on the OTAs. This is good news and bad news. July was a pretty good month in terms of occupancy. They were getting a lot more views. But again, I think that what started happening in the summer is the Airbnb in particular said, look, we're getting rid of all these duplicate listings. So a lot more eyes are focusing on only legitimate places. And I think that really spiked things in July. But it really tanked in August, and we're under in September. So if there's less homes that are being listed right now and more physical spaces available and the views are down, this is really a recipe for hurting your ADR. And that's why September was an absolutely abysmal month. So we definitely saw the writing on the wall in August and September, and we did see the writing on the wall with the lower ADR this past summer. Demand, good news and bad news. So this is an important slide. We are up in terms of ADR relative to last year for the week of Christmas. And again, it looks like we're going to have a strong January. So this is good news. Strong January is going to be most welcome. But the problem is that we're just going into big shoulders, like a big step down around Thanksgiving and around Christmas. So we're used to seeing, yes, the holidays be good, and then there being some increased demand around it. But now we're seeing a lower demand, much, much, much lower demand. We're seeing it in all of our listings across the board. So the challenge here is that the longer bookings around Christmas aren't happening. So you're not attracting that bigger block of occupancy at a higher rate. So your home is always priced with dynamic pricing unless you've got just a minimum. And so this means that as the market is rising and falling, your home is a percentage above or below the mean. So if you want to know where your home is at, I'm going to show you what it looks like in just a minute. Reach out to me for a market average on your home. Here's the good news. May 22nd, 2025 is when Epic Universe starts. This is like Super Mario Land, Villains, a whole bunch of How to Train My Dragon. What was the other thing that was there? That was the big stuff, like the Villain Land, the Super Mario Brothers Land. So it's like another Harry Potter. Oh, that was it, the Ministry of Magic, and then the How to Train Your Dragon. So I think those are the big things that are happening at Epic Universe. It was just announced this week, May 22nd, 2025 is when it's opening. What this means is that June, July, we do expect to have a nice little surge of people coming to Orlando to take advantage of not just Epic Universe, but probably decreased lines in the other parts of Universal also. Universal Studios and Universal Adventure Islands has done a nice job of refurbishing a couple rides this year also, I think in anticipation of this. So really excited about this change coming up. This is the last slide. This is just a recommendation that we made to a homeowner in Regal Palms recently. So what you can see is the occupancy numbers are absolutely abysmal in Regal Palms in particular around this time of year. But I'm not showing the numbers here. If you have questions about how well your home is performing relative to the market, just reach out to me. If you want to see what your ADR is relative to the market, above, below, occupancy above, below, please reach out to me. With every single person who's watching this video, I'm paid as you're paid. I don't have any minimums. As you know, everyone's on a 15% commission straight across the board. We don't do anything different for anybody. So we absolutely want higher ADRs. We'd like occupancy higher too, but of course, the more dollars coming in per booking is the absolute best. So I have said this before. I'm going to say it again. I can't make more money show up in Orlando. I can't make more people come to Orlando. What I can do is work with the people who are coming to Orlando to try to bring them here. Amenities, length of stay, getting rid of restrictions on your home, getting rid of minimum nights, length of stay nights. If you have a minimum of 200, consider getting rid of those and just pricing above a percentage of the market. That's absolutely the best way to make sure that you're getting good guests and your home is filling. If you have any questions, as always, please reach out to me. Christine and I are always here for you. I know it's been a challenging year this year and 2023, so we sure do appreciate you bearing with us and growing with us. And again, the data is just the data, so we hope you take it for exactly what it is and reach out to me if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.